Married teacher who sexually assaulted 2 students gets 10 years in prison. Must have been a dude then, right? Not this time. As it's revealed, she was impregnated by teen. No, this isn't one of the stories we've already gone by. It's literally that multiple stories like this come out per week now. This is what happens when society finally decides to go after the predators they've been ignoring for decades. I mean, better late than never, I guess. A married New Jersey English teacher was sentenced to 10 years in prison after the judge revealed she became pregnant by one of her students. How much you want to bet her cuck husband is still standing up for her, though? I mean, I'll be honest, that's a 50-50 chance. Julie Rizzatello, 37, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of second-degree sexual assault last year after engaging in various sexual acts with 2 of her students for months at a time. Can't claim it was just I was just drunk. Yeah, for months. She met her first victim while he was a freshman at Wall Township High School. Rizzatello had sex with him multiple times between current year -9 and current year -8. On one occasion, Rizzatello allegedly encouraged the teen to have unprotected sex with her on his birthday. She got pregnant and had an abortion, telling the student about the timeline. Oh, man. Way to fuck that kid up for life. Monmouth County Judge Joe Grace held nothing back during Rizzatello's hearing, accusing the disgraced teacher of grooming her students. I mean, that's literally what she was doing. This is why they have those rules against not abusing your power and privilege. Not only does he have to deal with the fact that he's groomed throughout his entire high school years, that he was preyed upon by his teacher, whom he loved and trusted, that he was sexually abused by his teacher. Now he's starting to come to terms with the fact that this individual had an abortion that he wasn't comfortable with. This is the psychological impact, the devastation. Yeah, and this is going to be especially bad. Like, if for whatever reason this kid isn't able to have any other kids going forward. Because we see this with women all the time, although in the Whammon's case, it's self-inflicted, so it's hard to feel sorry for him. But quite often, you will see women who got multiple abortions throughout their life. When they're finally ready to settle down and start a family, now they're infertile and they can't have kids. And they're just like, and they're just getting emotional as hell, crying about, because they could have had like a dozen kids, but they Minecrafted them all, and now it's too late. Rizzatello reportedly invited the freshman into her classroom during lunch, engaged in conversation, even told him that she had a dream about having sex with him. After the sentencing, O'Malley read the boy's statement. No kid should have the feeling of sickening anxiety and panic attacks while just trying to get through school. That doesn't sound like something a kid would write, but okay. He reportedly dropped out of college in the fallout of the case. Investigators determined she was engaged in sexual relations with the 18-year-old student whom she met as a junior at the Wall Township High School between April and June of current year -1. Both victims reportedly worked at Rizzatello's family bagel shop. Oh my God. So she may have been their teacher, but she got to them through their part-time jobs. Rizzatello allegedly had vaginal and oral sex with each of them across 3 shitties at her home, in her car, and even at the shop during operating hours. That's actually pretty common at a lot of these shops. The defendant knew, because of her position as a teacher, that these victims were particularly vulnerable, and she knew exactly how to manipulate them and groom them, and she put those skills to use, man. She preyed on them in a safe place. She isolated them. Rizzatello was arrested in current year -2 just days after resigning. She thought she could get away by resigning, yeah. She reportedly contacted both victims after, asking them to scrub evidence from their phones. I'd be willing to bet money she was already pretty much under a microscope when this happened. What a way to out yourself. Monmouth County Prosecutor Raymond S. Santiago addressed Wednesday's sentencing in a statement. These crimes are not isolated incidents constituting moments of poor judgment. They were textbook cases of grooming involving a defendant who repeatedly leveraged tactics of isolation, manipulation, and control for the sake of her own selfish purposes. That's how these predators operate, yeah. The egregious nature of the conduct was further combated by the plain fact that the emotional and psychological harm she inflicted came at the expense of 2 of the very same young minds that she had been entrusted to develop and nurture. Well, I guess it was her. She thought it was her job to show them how cruel the world could be, huh? Rizzatello married her husband in current year minus 9 and has 2 young chillins of her own. Better get them DNA tested. The defense reportedly attempted to use her position as a mother and her lack of criminal history as reasons to reduce the sentence to just 5 years. The request was denied. Excellent. Man, so many of these female criminals use their kids as a shield. I say, if you care about the kids so much, shouldn't you be advocating to have them put with parents that aren't complete criminals? Arizato will serve 2 10-year sentences concurrently, should be subject to parole for life, and must register as a sex offender. This is grooming, O'Malley said. It is traditional grooming that I see every week here in this courthouse. This is the behavior of a standard sexual predator. You're no different. And yet they didn't mention the state of her marriage, though. Is this husband one of the ones that decides, fuck this cheating 304 and PDF? Or is this one of the simps that'll stand by her to the bitter end until she breaks up with him? I guess we're going to have to look into that later, but I'm glad we're finally getting to the root of these issues, because for all the shit the Catholic Church got with their PDF scandal, there is way less PDF priests out there than there are PDF teachers. But we have to give them a pass. Not anymore.